Hi, everyone. I'm Sterling Raehtz, Head of Sales for ShopperTrak Analytics here in the Americas. And today I'm joined by Dylan Evaldsson, Chief Revenue Officer at PassBuy. How are you, Dylan?
I'm doing good, Sterling. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's always good to speak with you. A
Likewise.
few weeks ago, you and I were at our executive summit in Chicago, and some of the things we discussed were about the holiday consumer sentiment survey with our retailers. And one of the big findings that we talked a lot about was that shoppers intend to start shopping much earlier this year. So I reached out to you and said, hey, why don't we look back at the data to see if that's actually started to suss out as we are now halfway through November, to see if that was true. So on our side of the house, ShopperTrak Analytics data shows that overall consumers did indeed start earlier this year, about 4% bump to traffic, same day of week as compared to last year. And that's a growing trend that we've seen over the last few years. 4% is nothing, nothing to sneeze at though, for sure. It's also important to note that if you haven't looked at the calendar anytime soon, the month of November is going to feel very, very long for retailers. And what I mean by that is there's 5 Saturdays in November. So of course, shoppers are going to start earlier when that first Saturday is only the second day of the month. And then to book in November, we obviously have a late Thanksgiving and a late Black Friday. So this is an important month, no doubt, for retailers. How about you guys over at PassBuy? What have you been seeing with respect to categories?
So the key finding from the PassBuy data is that luxury gifts such as jewelry is seeing a big uplift, both in terms of higher year-on-year traffic starting all the way in October, but also that uplift being seen sooner. Specifically with jewelry as a whole, that category saw positive year-on-year numbers every week of October, as well as into the first week of October, where it was up more than 4% actually. Outside of that, the key categories that stood out to us were hobby, toy, and game stores that are up 3.59% in that last week of October going into the first weekend of November, as well as sporting goods stores, which was up 1.3% in that last week. And hobby, toy, and game stores was also up every week of October, and sporting goods stores was up 3 out of the 4 weeks.
It's definitely a good time to be in those verticals right now. You and I are going to be speaking a whole lot more over the holidays, and we'll put out some more content here to talk about, winning verticals, some verticals that have opportunities to do a little bit better. Everybody out there, if you have any questions for Dylan or I, go ahead and just DM us right here on LinkedIn. We can answer some questions more about other verticals or anything else that you might want to know about. Also, it might feel a little bit early, but we're only 2 months away now from NRF in January. And PassBuy and ShopperTrak Analytics are going to be in the Sensormatic booth. That booth number is 3523. And we're excited to be there with you. We'd love to see you there as well. And Dylan, we'll speak more over the holidays.
Thanks, Sterling.